For Astronomy Term Tuesday, we're actually doing a geometry term, but it's used a lot in astronomy, so I think it counts. And we're going to need a visual aid for this one. So the term is solid angle. Now, an angle is a 2D object. Now, you can define an angle in 3D space, but if you think about the angle itself, say we've got some angle here. This angle can be oriented in 3D space, right? But there's always just a plane in which the angle resides, and a plane is 2D. So an angle is a 2D object. And what if you need a 3D angle? Why would you even need a 3D angle? Well, if you are observing something and you have a field of view and you're seeing a part of the sky, that is a 3D angle, and that's basically what a solid angle is. So you can think about it as if there is, a cone. Say you were observing something and you could see something that was, inside the cone, then the angle at the top of the cone, that would be a solid angle. Now the unit for a solid angle is dimensionless, but it's basically an angular unit squared. So in SI, that's going to be a steradian. Now, for a regular angle, you can think of the angle as being the ratio of this part of the circle that's opposite the angle relative to the entire circumference of the circle. And that would give you, some sort of length per length. And so that is a dimensionless unit because it's length per length. And so that's what a radian is defined as. You can do a very similar thing for a solid angle, but instead of considering just a circle, we're in 3D now, so you're going to consider a whole sphere. And so the solid angle is actually just the ratio of the portion of the sphere that you're looking at, or that is, held within the area you're considering relative to the surface area of the entire sphere. So for a circle, if you had an angle that was the entire circle, that would be 360 degrees or 2 pi radians. For a solid angle, if you have the entire sphere, then that is actually 4 pi steradians. And also, it doesn't have to be a cone. I think the cone is conceptually probably the easiest shape to do this for, but it could be any area, any shape on the surface of the sphere, and you can still calculate a solid angle.